So, moving on to theme number 2. Here we go. I am really excited to be able to share a fun little tutorial with you today. And I have we have some brand new products here in the shop that I am so excited to tell you about. And I'm going to be able to share with you how it works by doing a little project with you today. All right? And that is, together, we're going to make this fun little pennant banner. Isn't that cute? So this is just made out of felt. And this is applique. And we call this a little luck. A little luck. And it's kind of fun because it has a loop up here for you to put it, if you wanted to put like a dowel through it to hang on your wall. Okay, and we have these for every month, but I thought this would be fun, of course, to show you the new, the shamrock one. Okay, so, but this is the one that's already been made, and it's done in felt and fabric, a combination. But the one I'm going to kind of take you step by step with today, I am actually doing, instead of felt, my background is going to be cotton. Okay, so I love polka dots. You can't go wrong with polka dots. So I'm doing polka dots today. All right. So when it comes to time to doing applique, there's a few things that I really like to do to bring up to prepare the fabric before I take it to the sewing machine or the embroidery machine. Either way. And one of those items is I like to put like a fusible interfacing on the back, which is what I did here. All right, so it's fusible, it's lightweight. Some may compare it to like an SF-101, but I'm so excited to announce that Kimberbell has a brand new product out there called Fusible Backing. And it says sewing and embroidery stabilizer. So before you think, oh, well, that must be just for embroidery. Nope, this is for sewing as well. Because when we can back up a fabric with something, a product like this, then it's going to eliminate so much puckering. If you're ever embroidering and you find that it has a tendency to pucker, your stitches are puckering, even on the sewing machine, those things can happen, then fusible backing is something that you might want to have in your sewing room. Trust me, I can't live without this stuff. And Kimberbell has it in both 12-inch by 5-yard pieces, as well as 20-inch by 5-yard pieces. I love the fact that it's on a roll and I can just unroll it and add it to the backs of my fabric. Okay, so here it looks like this. Again, it's a very lightweight and it has a fusible on one side. It's going to just give the fabric a little more stability, a little more drape without having to it's not going to be stiff at all. It's still going to have some really good give to it and some drape, but it gives definite more stability to your fabric. We will use a product like this even when doing hand stitchery, handwork. So whether you're doing handwork, whether you're doing sewing machine, or whether you're doing embroidery machine, this is the perfect product to have in your repertoire, okay? So that's the first thing I did, is that I cut a 5-inch by 20-inch piece of fabric and I fused it onto the back just like that. Then what you'll do is you'll fold it in half lengthwise and you'll just cut simply from the fold to about 1.5 inches up here so that you end up getting the pennant shape that you see right here. Okay, so again, you fold it in half, go from the fold up to 1.5 inches, and there you go. Okay, so that's what I did here. And now it's time to do the fun part, which is applique, because now I've already created the pennant. And this is going to be folded in half in a minute, but I'm starting I did it just a little ways away so that you would see how I've started, and then I'm going to go from there. Okay, so the other product that is brand new that just hit shelves this past week, and I just couldn't be more excited, is the Kimberbell Fusible Peel and Stick. Again, it says sewing and embroidery stabilizer. So I want to show you today how this works. Okay, first of all, it's really nice because they're in pre-cut sheets. So just very manageable to have there in your sewing room. Just pull out a sheet when you need to. You don't have a roll going all over the place. All right. Now, this would, the Fusible Peel and Stick, some may refer to it as another way of doing what we might know as heat and bond, okay, like heat and bond light. However, there's a big difference, and I want to share that with you today because we're going to trace our appliques on it. However, it actually serves as a sticker, if you will. If you were with me in, I talked about this new product in my Main Street bench pillow class this last week, so that this might be a review to some of you. Okay, so let me show you how that's done. First of all, you can see I've already cut into it, but here's my sheet. The other thing that some may think of it as is like steam and seam, but it's also very different from steam and seam because if you remember, steam and seam has like 2 sheets of paper and sometimes we get mixed up as to which one is which. This one looks like heat and bond. It's treated like steam and seam. So it's like the best of both worlds. Trust me on this because you're going to end up getting a sticker, if you will. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute, but you're going to get a sticker rather than just having it fly all over the place like heat and bond until it's fused. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. And it's a great combination of a heat and bond with a seam and seam, which I love both of those products, but into one. This is the Kimberbell Fusible Peel and Stick. Okay, so let's take a look at how this is done. I'm going to bring you right over here. And here is my pattern. So with our patterns, we always draw everything in reverse. If they can be in reverse, we will draw them in reverse. Obviously, a rainbow is no big deal. It's going to be the same backwards, forwards, whatever. But something like the shamrock, this one goes in this direction. When I actually go to put it on the background, it's going to go in the opposite direction. So that's why it's nice to have these items already drawn in reverse. Then you simply take your marker and pen, and you're going to trace. Now, I know that probably, most likely, you may not be able to see very well from your vantage point, but I'm seeing perfectly through this piece of paper. Now, I could also take a light box if I wanted to, and that would really help quite a bit. Or I could also put it up against a windowsill and let the light come through, and I'd be able to see really well there. But as you can see, I've traced my shamrock according to the instructions here. And then take my little pair of, these are Tim Holtz scissors, and rather than cut them directly on the line, I'm just cutting outside of the shape. Now, this is really, really important, and I've shared this story many times, so forgive me if you've already heard me share this, but I just want to make sure that, especially for those of you who may be new to applique, because not everybody has done applique before, so I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. When you cut this out, before it goes on the fabric, please remember to do not cut directly on the line. There was a class I taught years ago where I had a new student in my class, and she was so excited that she went on ahead in the class without waiting, and Actually, she had done quite a bit of it at home before she came to class, and guess what happened? Oh, I felt horrible for her. She actually cut everything on the line first, then she came to class and wanted to fuse it on. Well, it still works. However, you do not get as clean of a cut when you do that. And so her applique was actually fraying a ton because you didn't have that nice adhesion between the fusible and the fabric. So always make sure. So you know what, I just hurried in together, her and I just hurried and whipped out some more because I said, you know what, I don't think you're going to be happy with this, because she was near tears, and understandably so. It was very frustrating for her. And so I said, no big deal, let's just sit down and I will help retrace all of this with you. And together we traced it and we got it done. But lesson learned is to not cut out beforehand, okay? What you're doing, as you can see here, I have just cut around the outside. I've just done a fussy cut. Now what I'll do is, oh, I forgot to bring my green fabric over. Well, I'll do a polka dot gray shamrock. Why not? It's not going to go onto my theme, but I've already cut out my other pieces, so we're good. But just so for sake of kicks and giggles, you can see here what I've done. There we go. Okay, so again, this is the back of the fabric. I'll just place it right on top of there, and then I will hold for approximately 10 seconds or so. Okay, I want to give it a really good adhesion and let it cool off for a minute. If for some reason you pull it back and you're not seeing a sticky part to it, then you may need to put it back down for a little bit longer, okay? Once it has cooled down, then you're going to take your scissors, and now you're going to cut directly on the line. If you have a pair of serrated scissors, I talk about this quite often when it comes to applique, fusible applique, it's really nice to have some that have a serrated edge to them because it actually hugs the fabric and the applique a little bit tighter. You're not going to have the scissors slipping on you. The slippers slipping on you. Okay, so serrated edges are nice if you've got one. Okay, there we go. And I'll come up from this direction to get into that little groove there. There we go. Okay, look how cute. Isn't that adorable? Now, obviously, I'm not going to put it on this one because it would be the shamrock on top of the polka dot shamrock. But at least you can see how this is done. Now, what you'll do is you'll peel it back, and it's going to reveal a stick to it. Okay, so just like this. And see how it's, can you hear that stick? So it's now become its own little sticker. Okay, I'm going to put that back on. Use that for a different applique. It's so cute. I love the polka dots. So I went ahead and I pre-cut everything for today's demo. Okay, so you can see I've got the shamrocks and the rainbows and all of that. So why is having a sticker so cool? Well, one, you only have to fuse this once. Once I fuse it on here, let's see. No. Once I fuse it onto the background, cut it out, that's the only fusing I do. The rest is just placed by like a sticker, and then I'm going to go around and do an applique stitch around it, okay? The other nice thing I love about it is it becomes repositionable. This is not permanent. So let's say, for example, you were doing heat and bond light. You know that that does not become permanent until it is actually fused with an iron onto the background. But what if you mess up, right? What if you get it in the wrong place? What if your iron actually hits another piece and off it goes into left field? Or it goes a little crooked, a little skiwampus, right? You know, that's never fun. So being able to know that it's not going to go anywhere, I'm sticking it down, I can reposition it. And just like with this rainbow that I started, say the rainbow is actually supposed to go underneath the pot of gold. Well, what if I didn't know exactly where that pot of gold would go? Or where I should start the rainbow, I should say. What if I wasn't sure where to start that rainbow? Well, I could put on the pot of gold first, and then I can lift this up. See how my top edges are flipped up and it still has the sticky. I can flip that up, and now I can lay these little rainbow stripes right underneath that pot of gold. So there we go, and stick down, and again, like I said, it's like a sticker, right? You couldn't do this with heat and bond. Okay, now I've got my yellow on. I'm going to add my next piece, which is orange. And again, with the little parts of the gold on there, I can lift that up, kind of maneuver it. And if I go, oh, you know what? This one's going a little over too far this way. No biggie. I can pull it up and reposition it, right? Isn't this great? Make sure it goes underneath there. And then I have one final piece. I should have grabbed like a little pin or something. If you have problems getting the Fusible paper off, then grab a pin and it will do wonders. Let me try this side. There we go. So here we have it. I've got this one. I'm going to position, and position over here. And look, now my rainbow is where it needs to be, and I can just press that pot of gold back into place. Pretty cool, right? Okay, now I'm going to add a few more pieces of gold, and this just rests right on top of the previous gold, so it's great for being able to do layers. Okay, and I can go from there. I won't finish that right now, but now take a look. Let's see. If I look at my pattern, I can see if I want to go down a little ways, I'm going to fold it in half, and then I have a better idea where I want to put my shamrock. Okay, so I'll do that. Again, peeling it like a sticker. And I could put my shamrock right here. And then see how it's not going to fall off, right? It's not falling off anywhere. And I go, oh, you know what? I'm not sure I like it there. I think I'll lift this up, and maybe I'm going to go more in that direction. And I lay it down that way. And let's see. I want to do, what's my next piece I want to do? I'll peel this back. There we go. And I think I'm going to put this one on top. We'll just finish this one up, and then we'll call it good. Okay, and I'm going to take now this piece and put it right there. What do you think? Isn't it turning out so cute? So now I just can continue playing with this, and again, because it's repositionable, I can have them any which way, put it back down, press it back down, and then I would take it to my sewing machine, and I would do either a blanket stitch, or I could do a tiny little zigzag stitch, or I could even do a raw edge applique where you sew about 1/8 of an inch inside. So super excited about this product. Very nice if you are, especially not only for fabric, but if you are trying to adhere some more difficult items like leather, for example. You could add this to the back of leather, and you would fuse it onto the back, so it's not going to affect the leather. You don't need a pressing sheet, and then just stick it on, and you don't have to fuse from the front because it's already stuck in place, which is really nice. Okay, so anyway, that is the start of mine. I got to finish it now, right? Because it's too cute not to finish. But this is how we did it with felt, and this is doing it with just cotton. Super fun, right? And then all I'm going to do, again, I used the fusible backing on the back of this. And just to give it some more stability, I'm not even going to take the time to do right sides together, turn right side out. I mean, you certainly could, but you don't have to. And I'm just going to use one of my fancy stitches and just stitch down here and stitch down there. I'll stitch about 1 inch going across so that I have an opening for the dowel to come through. And now I have a cute little door hanger. Okay, super fun, right? So that is today's lesson. I really wanted to show you how this works, because a lot of people were confused. What does this fusible peel and stick mean? So again, they're 8.5 by 11 sheets. There's 25 sheets in a package. One side is sticky, the other side is fusible for easy applique. No need to iron twice, and ideal for use with specialty fabrics including wool, velveteen, leather, and silk. Pretty nice, right? So that's the peel and stick, and then the fusible backing is in 2 sizes. All right. Okay, so let me see what questions you might have, and then we'll go from there, and I'll let you know on deal of the day. Yes, perfect for collage quilting. A couple of you mentioned this. Absolutely. This is absolutely ideal for collage quilting, because you can, you pull it up just a little bit here, and then you tuck in a piece here, and then you go there, and then you can go, I'm not sure, I want it over here better, I like it better here, so nice, right? So if you're into collage quilting, this stuff is phenomenal for collage quilting. Okay. Yay! Patricia said, thank you for showing how to use the products. I now understand. Fantastic. I'm so glad. Okay, let's see. Collage quilting. Oh my goodness, Kathy. I'm distracting her from the tornado warnings going off in the basement. Oh, Kathy, I'm so sorry. Oh, hope you're okay. Stay safe, my friend. Yay. Yeah, Monica, you guys are getting a ton of snow right now. It's crazy. It's crazy when your neighboring state is just so dry right now. Okay, what else do we have? Joanne wants some of that stuff overnighted. I know, it's so nice. Beth, you promised to feed me? Okay, I'm coming to your house. I'll work for food. I'll work for dinner for my family, right? If I don't have to cook. Thanks, Beth. You're so sweet. All right. Kris, can you embroider on it before you iron it down? I see you using this on larger objects. Yes, you certainly can, Patsy, because when you use it with the regular, well, let me think. Yeah, I mean, it has a pretty good stick to it. I would, if it wasn't too dense of embroidery going over top of it, I think it would be just fine. I could, well, and certainly you could use this for collage quilting and have like overall, you know, designs going over it. So yeah, I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. Okay, yeah, there you go. Kathy asked, are those snowballs in your March sky? Yeah, it's snowballs in Utah. Because today is as dry, and tomorrow it'll probably be snowing. Right? Am I right, Kathy? So true. All right. Let's see. Yes, it can be run through the printer. I would imagine it could. I haven't tried it. Kind of. I'd have to play around with it for sure. Okay. So excited it comes in 2 sizes. Yes, I love that fact too. Yeah, it could be Hales. You're right, Barbara. Anna wants to learn landscape quilting. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, we could definitely talk landscape quilting sometime. How do you tell which side is sticky before you press it? Oh, you'll definitely know, Becky. I know it's probably hard to tell through the computer, but there is a definite stick to it. And you just peel that paper back, and if you're not getting the stick on the back of the fabric itself, then you haven't fused it long enough. So it needs to go on just a little bit longer. Those of you who have electronic cutting machines, this is wonderful for that as well. To be able to fuse, you know, your fabric on and the peel and stick on the back, and then run it through your electronic cutting machine. That would be wonderful. Okay. The other question I get often asked is, do you ever have it gum up the needles when you use sticky anything, whether it's heat bond, whatever it might be? And the answer is yes and no. Most of the time, no. But that's not to be said that that couldn't happen. So if you find that you're having trouble with the glue sticking onto the needle, you shouldn't. But if you do, there's a great workaround, and that is picking up a set of anti-glue needles. Okay, and we have those on our website. Anti-glue needles are phenomenal. They have a really nice shiny coating on there that really virtually just deflects that any stick from sticking on. So if you have trouble with stickiness to your needles on no matter what fusible you're using, try the anti-glue needles and you'll be a lot happier. Okay.